Good morning and welcome. Good morning. I see people in their cars here. Yay, we made it. Welcome to our first ever drive-in worship service. We might be so done with COVID. I know many of us are. We might be so done with COVID, but we certainly haven't lost our creativity. So we want this service to be fun and meaningful as any other water service we've experienced together as a congregation. I'm so glad you have made it here, either by car or bike or on Zoom, for this one-of-a-kind service and water ceremony. I'm Reverend Lydia Ferrante Roseberry, the minister of this congregation. I'm joined today by our intern minister, Lisa Moore, who rang our bowl. I am joined by our director of Lifespan Faith Formation, Jessica Lakeman, today, our music director, Tad Coriath, and musicians, Amy Austin and Mary Stackpole, as well as our service associate, David Bumay. Deborah Mensch and Don Price and Tad are helping us with our tech today. So you may be wondering why this quick pivot from what was supposed to be a beautiful outdoor service all together here in our playground to a drive-in service. On Wednesday, we learned that Boulder County's COVID data went from high risk to very high risk, according to a data source that the UUA requests that we use. So flipping the switch so quickly was for us to follow the UUA recommendations and to suspend all indoor and outdoor gatherings when these risk levels are at very high or severe, which is actually the highest that they can go. I know how ready many of us are to be together again and to enjoy our new building. I know that many of you are fully vaccinated and feel comfortable being closer together. But I want to remind you that no one under the age of 12 can be vaccinated, that fully vaccinated adults can transmit the virus to others, and that we seem to be having more breakthrough illnesses than we previously thought, including here on site. So we're doing the conservative thing maybe once in the lifetime of this congregation to protect ourselves and to be part of stemming the spread of the virus so that fewer variants appear and we can all be together sooner. If there's 40 people on Zoom and a whole bunch of people in their cars. I can't count the people, but I count about 15 or 20 cars so far here. And we have managed to be together once again. For those of you who are in your cars, if you'd like to join on Zoom, you can still do that from your phone, but you'll probably get better audio from your radio. But you can feel free to experiment with that. If you are joining us on Zoom today, I do invite you to switch to gallery mode as we ask you to, and just take a look at all the faces around you to see the lovely diversity of this congregation. Because without it and without you, there would actually be no us. And those of you in your cars can look around and peer into the windows of the cars near yours.
You are all welcome here today. In the beauty of languages, cultures, skin tones, shapes, and sizes that come together in your uniqueness, you are welcome here. In all the ways you express and experience gender, you are welcome here. In the beauty that is who you love and how you love, you are welcome here. Whether you are joining us on Zoom, in an old jalopy, or in the latest electric vehicle, you are welcome here. Christian, pagan, humanist, Jew, Buddhist, mystic, Muslim, Unitarian Universalist, with all the faith traditions that inform your spiritual life, you are welcome here today. No matter how long you are away, nor how long until you will return, you are welcome here. Whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears, you are welcome here. You are invited to join us with an open mind, a loving heart, and willing hands. We welcome all of you here today.
There will be no sharing of joys and concerns today. So if you have a pastoral need that you'd like one of us to know about, please text or send an email to either Reverend Lydia or myself. As you use, we acknowledge that our community is located on the lands once stewarded by the Arapaho, Ute, Lakota, Cheyenne peoples. This congregation honors Indigenous legacy and respects the enduring relationship that exists between Indigenous peoples and their traditional homelands through our connections to Right Relationship Boulder. We also acknowledge that we live in a time when Black, Indigenous, and other peoples of colors and Hispanic people are devalued, violated, and killed because of systemic racism. Boulder Valley commits itself to becoming anti-racist and defeat systemic racism by taking actions to dismantle racism in society, taking guidance from and while honoring the lived experiences of those who identify as people of color, and developing personal relationships between cultures. If you're new here, we are glad you found us and hope that even in this unusual setting, you can experience the warmth and love of this congregation. Each Sunday is a little different here, so please come back. Yeah, and this one is probably one of the most different ones of all. But each Sunday is a little different here. So please come back a few times to really get to know us. If you want to get better connected, please visit our website at bvuuf.org. And if you are on Zoom and you can see the chat window for the link to our first-time visitors page, or you can email your information to our office manager, Carol, at officemanager@bvuuf.org. Finally, if any new visitors on Zoom would like to introduce yourselves into the chat, please do. We'd love to know who is among us. And for those of you here in person today in your cars or just sitting and hanging out, if you are new, please raise your hand or maybe flash your lights on or off or something so we can see who it is. And so we can come and greet you. Yeah, welcome. Hi, friend Nancy. Those who are here in person today will have a chance to add your water to our communal bowls toward the end of the service. Worship leaders will stay here until noon today for anyone else who may want to come by with their water. And you can also email the office to find a time to drop by in the coming week. And if all of this is foreign to you, as a newcomer, you're joining us in a beautiful, inclusive homecoming ritual, which you may also take part of. Stick around, we'll explain it all later. You are invited to stay following the service for the announcements and virtual coffee hour. If you are joining us via Zoom, I invite you now to light your chalice as Jessica lights the fellowship chalice. And if you can, please write in the chat, chalice lit, and the name of your town. And for those of you in your cars today, wave your hands, maybe flashlights, and join us as we say the words along with Jessica as Jessica lights our chalice. We light our chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action. As I get ready to strike our bowl a second time, I'd like to add a few extra moments of a listening meditation. Stop. Listen. What do you hear? The cars on the streets nearby, planes in the air, birds, the wind in the trees. Anything else? Listen and be present with those sounds as I sing our bowl again, inviting it to draw you deeper into the present moment and this, our beloved community.
Opening words this morning come from Molly Hoosh Gordon, Learning to Love This World. We gather together this morning tenderly, like drops of dew on a leaf of grass. Hopefully, like gathered raindrops in a cloud. Gleefully, like water rushing in a stream to the sea. Deeply, like groundwater pulled up from a well. We gather from every direction for another year of growth and depth, another year of companionship and hope, another year of learning to love this world. We gather like the water that joins us across all of creation, the water that connects us within and without, merging and flowing across the entire world.
Some days we can find at least a dozen things to give thanks for, and other days we have to reach real deep to find even one. So now let's unite around the lyrics of this song, which is giving thanks for this day and what it may have in store for us. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. We're all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks precious day. For all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
Each week, we remind ourselves of the abundance of our lives and this community by giving half of our plate away to those organizations that share our values. This week, we are sharing our plate with the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee's Emergency Response Fund to support the people of Haiti after this past month of devastation, where their president was assassinated and they were victims of both a major earthquake and a devastating tropical storm. For those of you watching on Zoom this morning, here is an example of the kids our dollars are saving, including our sponsor child, Dina Severe, with her 16 classmates. Their school is in the town of Jeremy, Haiti, a town of 31,000 people, which was devastated by last month's earthquake, August 14th. The next day, our in-country coordinator with Partners in Parenting Haiti reported all of the children were found safe but very stressed, and there was damage. If you are on Zoom this morning, the text to donate number will be on your screen. If you're in your car today, look for our hospitality folks moving among you with the signs. There are also offering plates up front if you'd like to make a cash donation. As our musical reflection begins, we invite you to reflect upon the meaningful moments of this summer. What does your water represent? If you are on Zoom, please write it in the chat. If you are in your car, put it on a sticky note. No sticky notes. Share your words with the car next to you if you can. Later in the service, when you come up to add your water,
going to trust that there were many meaningful moments for you this summer, even if the summer was not what you had expected it to be. And I'm looking forward to reading the chat a little later. So the last time we did what would be a traditional water service in that building behind me was 2018. And that also included our traditional water slide in the front of the building. So in 2019, we were graciously hosted by the First United Methodist Church, and Pastor Emily hopes to join us today at about 10:30 to merge some waters with ours as a reminder of our ongoing connection, that it hasn't ended. In 2020, we had our video service and a carefully orchestrated walk through the sanctuary to pour our water in the common bowl. But even last year, could anyone have imagined doing this today? So I say, let's embrace it. Let's just use what we have today. Usually, I can hear some amens or at least a couple comments in the chat when I'm speaking during the service. So today, if you are in your car, I'm going to ask you to embrace by throwing on your blinkers or your hazard lights, or those of you on your bikes, if you have bike lights. And if you're really excited, you can throw the washer fluid on in your car and see if you can splash somebody else's car with it too. Are you here? Yay! We are here together. We made it. This is a very unpredictable world that we are living in. When we first were going virtual, I thought it would be for a few weeks. But it's gone on and on and on and on and on, requiring so much of us in agility and flexibility, in living with loss and retaining hope, and in embracing new ways of being. How many of you are sick and tired of physical distancing and masks? Show me a sign. How many of you are ready to enjoy our new building? Ready to welcome newcomers? Ready to hear incredible music in our beautiful sanctuary? Yeah. Oh, it's just a couple, Deborah. Okay, thank you. And ready to use our new building for powerful witness and justice making. I am too. And so being here is a bunch of mixed emotions. But I know that the infection numbers are rising again, and the Delta variant is more contagious than what came before. And we have a whole vulnerable portion of our congregation and community that can't get vaccinated yet, and that's our younger kids. I know that we're not the only community grappling with these issues. Every community, every family has been navigating their own tolerance of the do's and don'ts of this pandemic. I'm sure some of you feel we're being too cautious. Others may think we're striking the right balance. And maybe even for others, we're not cautious enough. But we're doing the best we can here, using the best guidance we have from the UUA. Who's waving at me over there? Hello. Is that Charlotte? Yeah. I got a big wave from Charlotte. Maybe she's waving at her mom. She's waving at her mom, everybody. So we are doing the best we can to create what we can in what could be considered the absurdity of these times. I also want to thank Jessica for the creativity that is being brought to this in these times. So our water service has looked different each of the past 4 years. But you know what? Its meaning hasn't changed. The waters we collect today will still embrace your joys and concerns each and every Sunday of the coming year. The water we collect today will still be used in weddings and to bless babies. The water we collect still reminds us that we are better and more powerful together than we are alone. Through all the twists and turns these past few years have brought to this community, we are still here. Can I hear an amen to that? Across the United States and Canada, even across the world, Unitarian and Universalist congregations use this turning of the seasons from summer to fall to recommit ourselves to our spiritual community through this simple ritual of merging our waters. So even today, in this wacky drive-in service and Zoom service, we are here merging our waters. We've set up 3 water stations here, and you'll be invited to come out of your cars in just a moment and bring your water to the water station of your choice. If you've forgotten your water, don't worry about that. We have water for you. Please do remain physically distanced and wear a mask while approaching the water station. And if you're on Zoom, you can come by in the next hour from about 11. I'll be here till 12, and you can drive by the other parking lot and leave your water there. As you prepare to come forward, I offer you these words by the Reverend Gretchen Haley, which I've adapted just a little bit for our current context. Whatever you have come in anticipating, whatever you expect or worry for our future, for our world, or for our lives, with the pouring of this water, let it go. Make space in your heart today and in the coming days to be surprised, maybe even to experience a little joy. Make room in your soul for the unexpected, for a new story to take shape. Let astonishment be possible, even as we live masked up once again. For this life still remains a miracle. Imagine here the bursting of joy, relentless and resilient, coming in waves, washing over us with music and story and silence. And still this dreaming together, being hope for one another and courage to believe that there is a new day. It is dawning for us all. You are invited now, if you are here in your cars, to bring your water up to one of the water stations.
Holy water of ocean streaming.
thank you so much. That music was beautiful and perfect for this moment. So. Into our common bowls, we have poured our hopes and dreams for the year ahead. In this water are the tears shed for 20 years by those who lost loved ones in the tragedies of September 11th, 2001. We remember them. And in this water are also the many tears that have been shed due to the losses of the pandemic. We remember them. In this water are also the rageful tears of a country torn apart by racism, sexism, homophobia, and transphobia, and the ongoing climate crisis. In this water are the weary souls of refugees crossing oceans to flee the horrors of their homeland. But this water also contains many, many blessings. The reminder of the power of being together. There's no doubt about that. Water as a single droplet evaporates. Water joined together moves mountains. This is the water of blessing. It blesses our joys and concerns, our young ones, and in a couple of weeks, this water will bless the marriage of our longtime preschool teacher, Aria Tarka. Isn't that sweet? In this water is the blessing of our connections beyond our congregation. And I'm wondering if Pastor Emily, has anybody seen Pastor Emily here yet? She may have to add her water a little bit later. Let this water that we have collected, that goes back generations in the life of this congregation, let it remind us to embrace the complexity of it all, the joy and the rage, the known and the unknown. May the merging of our waters today gentle us, like a babbling brook that smooths the jagged edge of a mountain. May it embrace us like the waters of the womb, nourishing and protecting us from the twists and turns of the journey ahead. It is good to be together through all of this, in all of the ways that we are together. Let it bring us courage and resilience in these times. May it be so.
Our benediction this afternoon is shared with permission from the Reverend Sherry Woodbury. What a world there can be if we imagine, if we share, if we care, if we act. What a world there can be if we are indivisible in heart and make the most of our one shot. Let us trust that the seeds we plant in time will flourish, and that we can create the tipping points for a better future, for our children's children and the great web of life on earth. Let us make a new start. So may it be. Amen, and blessed be. And those at home, if you have a chalice, if you'll join Lisa and I as we extinguish our chalice here at the fellowship with our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, or the energy of action. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again.
We have one final song we'd like to sing for you. I need to turn my mic volume down a little because I have a loud voice. This song is called Resilience. It's written by Abby Bettinus, and it was in response to her struggle or her battle with cancer. But I think these words, it also applies to what we're going through now, what we've been going through for the past year and a half. So I'd like to read her comments. Resilience is a mindset born in the hardest days, when you're scared or sad or tired, when progress toward your goal is slow and the barriers seem impenetrable. And yet you keep going because somewhere deep down you know that what you're fighting for will be so much better. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say, yes, we can. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say, yes, we can. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say, yes, we can. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say, yes, we can. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say, yes, we can. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say, yes, we can. Resilience.
Live music. Wow.
I can't reach. You put it in and I'll adjust.
As promised, we're having some announcements here at the end before we send you on your way. As a reminder, if you're on Zoom, please do come by the fellowship by noon today. If you'd like to pour some water in the bowl, in our Sacred Waters bowl. I'm offering a class that I'm offering twice. The in-person one, small group, starts this Thursday, and then a Zoom one during the day, and then there'll be a Zoom one that starts early October in the evening. The Zoom one will be, the in-person one will be outdoors as well. Check Connections Weekly or info at, or you can email me directly if you're interested in being in my class. Children and youth religious education activities will resume next week outdoors as well. Those are also in small groups. And just to clarify that we will have no large gatherings inside or outside until we get below this very high risk level. And the COVID team will meet this week and try to clarify where we are right now. So next week, we will be resuming Zoom services until further notice. But hang tight and pay attention, because we are starting a reservation system that is working on an equitable process to allow people to sign up when we do get to be in limited capacity inside the building. So there's a really diligent team thinking about all the angles of that. And that's our announcements for today. I'm so delighted to have people have come here and to have a showing on Zoom as we kick off this fellowship year in all the crazy ways and places that it will take us. Blessed be.